Liam Brooks was never the flashy type. He was steady, dependable, and deeply loyal. A high school history teacher in Chicago, Liam lived a simple life filled with books, weekend baseball games with his brother, and dinner dates with the woman he thought he'd spend forever with, Melissa Monroe. They met through mutual friends. She was a pediatric nurse, smart, kind, the kind of woman who made every room feel warmer. Their relationship moved slowly, deliberately. Liam loved that about her. No games, no drama. After 3 years of dating, Liam proposed with a vintage ring he'd inherited from his grandmother. Alyssa cried, said yes, and everything seemed perfect. They started planning a fall wedding at a lakeside venue. Invitations were being designed, menus picked, music playlists curated. Liam felt like he was finally stepping into the life he had always imagined. They even began house hunting on weekends, searching for the perfect little fixer-upper. Alyssa wanted a porch swing and Liam dreamed of a reading nook by the fireplace. They had Pinterest boards, shared playlists, and matching mugs. To Liam, this wasn't just a chapter, it was the beginning of their story. But perfection, as he'd soon learn, is often just an illusion. It started with small things. Alyssa working more night shifts. Getting home late. Laughing at texts she wouldn't explain. Guarding her phone like it held classified information. Liam noticed. Of course he did. But when he asked, she blamed stress. I'm just tired, babe. Work's been crazy. He wanted to believe her. He chose to believe her. Then there were the changes in affection, how she'd flinch when he touched her, how she turned away when he kissed her. She no longer talked about the wedding. Every detail he brought up seemed to irritate her. She said she was overwhelmed, but it felt more like disinterest. Friends noticed too. His best friend, Jared, asked one day, "Is everything okay with you and Alyssa?" She seemed distant at dinner. Liam brushed it off. But deep down, a quiet dread had already begun to build. He began staying up at night, replaying conversations in his head, looking for clues he had missed. There were odd purchases on their shared credit card, hotel stays in the city when she claimed to be working late. A necklace he never saw. An extra phone charger in her bag. He started to question his own sanity. One Sunday morning, Alyssa left in a rush. Her iPad buzzed on the coffee table. Liam didn't mean to snoop, he really didn't. But the message lit up the screen. "Can't wait to spend the weekend with you again." She doesn't suspect a thing. It was from someone named Marcus. Liam's heart stopped. His hands shook as he opened the thread. Dozens of messages, photos, videos, plans to travel together, even jokes about how clueless Liam was. She had been cheating. For months. And not just cheating, planning a life with someone else. The messages weren't a fling. They were a roadmap for a future that excluded him entirely. In one video, Alyssa was laughing, her head on Marcus's chest, saying, "He still thinks we're getting married." It's almost sad. Liam couldn't breathe. He dropped the iPad on the floor and backed away as if the truth might burn him. Every memory, every date, every kiss, suddenly tainted. He sat on the couch, numb, as the weight of betrayal settled into his bones. He took screenshots of everything. Sent them to his email. Not because he planned revenge, but because he needed proof. To remind himself it was real. Liam didn't yell. He didn't cry. When Alyssa came home that night, he simply handed her the iPad. She froze, pale. He asked only one question, "Why?" She broke down, said Marcus was someone she met at the hospital. That it started as a mistake. That she didn't mean to fall in love. That she still loved Liam, but differently. He listened. He let her talk until her voice cracked. And then he stood up. "I was going to marry you," he said. "I gave you everything I had. And you were playing house with someone else." She begged for forgiveness. Said she didn't want to lose him. Said she was confused. But Liam had already lost something much bigger, his trust. He packed a bag, left that night. No goodbyes, no second chances. The engagement was off. The ring was boxed away. Liam moved into his brother's guest room while he figured things out. He spiraled for a bit, skipped work, stopped eating. Nights were the worst. That's when the memories screamed the loudest. He'd scroll through photos, wondering which smiles were fake. He questioned everything, his judgment, his worth, his future. His mother visited one evening. Sat with him quietly. Finally said, "You didn't lose. You survived being lied to. That's strength." He started running. Miles at dawn, rain or shine. He wrote in journals, not just about Alyssa, but about the pain, the process, the rawness of starting over. He joined a support group for people recovering from broken engagements. And there, he met people with stories even messier than his own. People who healed, who thrived. He realized he could too. He took a sabbatical from teaching and traveled. Visited small towns across the country. Spoke at community centers. Volunteered at youth shelters. And everywhere he went, people told him stories. Stories of betrayal, resilience, recovery. He carried their words in a notebook. Added his own. And slowly, Liam began to write again, not just for himself, but for anyone who had ever been shattered and forced to rebuild. A year later, Liam had changed. He published a book titled Stolen Promises, a raw memoir of love, betrayal, and resilience. It struck a chord, went viral. He was invited to podcasts, book tours, TV interviews. Readers sent letters. "You told my story. You gave me hope. Your words helped me leave." He wasn't just a teacher anymore, he was a voice for the brokenhearted. And one day, at a book signing in Portland, he met someone. Not Alyssa. Not a replacement. But a woman named Claire. An artist. A survivor. They talked about grief. About art. About second chances. They took things slow. Deliberate. Just the way Liam liked. One morning, Claire showed him a painting she had done of a cracked vase filled with flowers. "It's about healing," she said. "How broken things can still hold beauty." Liam smiled. "That's exactly how I feel." They started collaborating, his words, her art. Together, they hosted workshops for people dealing with loss. They painted murals in schools. Held storytelling circles in parks. Liam felt purpose again, not because he had found someone new, but because he had found himself. Months later, a letter arrived. It was from Alyssa. She apologized, said she had made the biggest mistake of her life. That Marcus had left. That she missed the way Liam made her feel safe. He read it, then folded it away. Not because he hated her, but because he had nothing more to say. He had already written his ending, and it wasn't about her. "She stole my promises, but I wrote new ones, and this time, I kept them for myself."